Hello everyone, I'm Bruffy1322 back with another month of subscription box unboxings and reviews. We've got 5 to unbox this month. As usual, we won't waste any time and let's just get straight into unboxing and seeing what's in these. So as always, we start off with Loot Crate. The theme for this month is horror. These are the October boxes, so obviously a lot of them will probably be Halloween themed. We'll see what's in here. Wow, okay, the first thing that I've seen is a big advertisement. Okay, I mean... Okay, the box gets negative points for that, I think. Let's have a look at the t-shirt. So that is the t-shirt. It's obviously Walking Dead related. It's got Walking Dead on the bottom, AMC. I think it's pretty clear who Loot Crate have partnered up for this box. And I'm not sure I like it. So next up we got this figure, Texas Chainsaw Massacre figure, made by Kid Robot. It's an exclusive as well. Quite a nice plushie, I guess. Yeah, fun little item. This is our next item, Friday the 13th, Camp Crystal Lake. I'm not too much into horror films, so this box isn't really speaking to me, you know, horror stuff in general. That is okay, I guess. It could go on your wall or something. If you like the movie, obviously that will speak to you. We've got a book next. This looks interesting. The Legion of Regrettable Supervillains, featuring the 50 strangest supervillains in the history of comics. This is the Loot Crate edition, whatever that means. Obviously, Loot Crate always seem to have everything that they do these days an exclusive. This is actually quite a nice item to get in one of these boxes. It's a good, you know, hardback book, quality stuff. I would imagine that this would be quite interesting. That's a good item. That's the thing that's appealed to me the most so far out of all of the things in here. That is the pin for this month. It's actually got on top John Carpenter's Halloween, so it's themed based on something else. Feels very advertising, this box. It feels like there's just advertisements for everything everywhere, as if companies have paid Loot Crate to put their stuff in. And that's definitely what it seems more so than anything else. But yeah, the pin, the design's not too bad, I guess. It's not like I don't think it's as good as the usual pins that we used to. So the final item in here is A Nightmare on Elm Street Freddy Glove Chopsticks. These are actually quite good. Obviously a Loot Crate exclusive once again. Like I always say, it's exclusive, so better to have in these boxes when they're the only place you can get them. Chopsticks, and they are themed obviously in the Halloween style with Nightmare on Elm Street, but you know, not too bad. Oh wait, made exclusively for Loot Crate for a limited time only. Does that mean that eventually they will be made for everybody? So they're not actually a Loot Crate exclusive. They're only an exclusive for a limited amount of time, and then they'll be available to everybody. Maybe. But yeah, you know, quite interesting chopsticks to be in that style. Obviously, as usual, we've got the magazine. Again, there's some advertisements for The Walking Dead. That's quite annoying. The pin this month allows you to download a free game on Steam. Super Fight, a video game of absurd arguments. Does seem quite interesting if you get a group of people together. And then the box, I'm not even going to bother with the box, but you get a zombie mask on there. Obviously, again, Walking Dead related, but I mean, that's probably one of the worst boxes we've ever had. It's just basically a big advertisement for The Walking Dead. I mean, Loot Crate are normally good with that kind of stuff, and they don't put advertisements in these boxes and things like that. But that's a big no-no for me. You know, you're paying your money for these items. You don't want to then get a load of advertisements with it. So yeah, not impressed by this box, honestly. Obviously, as always, I do all of the scores at the end of the video for all of these boxes, and we see how they all compare. And I try to do it objectively based on the quality of the items, but yeah, that's not going to sit too well with me. Next up is Geek Fuel, the heaviest of the boxes this month. Geek Fuel is back after we didn't have it last month. Geek Fuel generally seem to be always very good, but we'll see what they got in. No theme for Geek Fuel. They never have a theme. It's all just a lot of random stuff. So, magazine, obviously, as always, amazing. The Walking Dead on there as well. And artwork on the back. So it's definitely Walking Dead season. Okay, so this is the t-shirt, and I am both very happy and very sad. This t-shirt is absolutely fantastic. For anyone who's seen Firefly, anybody who's watched Firefly, this is a great t-shirt, and I really liked Firefly. It's a great series. Shame it's a travesty that it was only for one season. So this is a great t-shirt. I would love to wear it, but it's a small and I'm meant to get medium. So it's pretty much useless for me, which is a big shame. It's not going to affect my scoring of the t-shirt because that's independent, but such a shame because I would have worn that quite a bit. I like that t-shirt. Next up is a Geek Fuel exclusive Dragon Egg toothbrush holder and storage kit. This is interesting. This is unusual. So this is basically what it is. There's a separate lid for it that you can put on to store your toothbrushes. Dragon Egg, you know, it's good quality. Obviously, it's proper stuff. Yeah, pretty interesting to get in one of these items. Am I going to use it as a toothbrush holder myself? Probably not. But if you like that sort of thing, I guess it would be a nice item. And good quality stuff, you know, it's something good quality that we've gotten from one of these boxes. Next up, what is this? Dock of the Dead Gummy Brains. So they're basically just some gummy sweets. Not an awful lot to say about those, I suppose. They are themed with Halloween, obviously. You know, with Halloween, the October boxes are always generally themed like that. You know, okay, but nothing overly special there. So every month with Geek Fuel, you do get a free game on Steam. The quality of those games is not that great, honestly, but sometimes they do offer something extra with it, and that's what we've got here. So the game is Luck Slinger, a fistful of fortune. Well, however good that game is, they're normally not that great. But in addition to that, you do also get this nice little pouch with, I believe, 2 wooden dice in it. So although, you know, they're nothing special, they're not exactly the most expensive things in the world to produce. You know, you could probably get these for very cheap. It's nice that they do something a little bit extra and they don't just give you a Steam code like they used to. And more of the games that they include seem to be doing that. But, you know, I do sometimes think it would be better to just include an extra item in general rather than just a game that, honestly, they're not that good. And the final item is this horror series, Reflection Figurines horror series. I wonder if you could have got different characters. Obviously on the back they've got a list of all the different characters you can get in this series. That would always be good because I always say it's good if you can get some variety in these boxes and some of the items make a difference so that the boxes aren't all the same for everybody. So that's good. It looks like this is Funko is to do with this as well, which means it's a good quality item, a good quality figure. Very small, obviously, but you know, it's okay. Again, nothing too special. Next up, we've got Super Geek Box. See what's in this one. Here's the t-shirt for Super Geek Box, and I can't see it myself. Something a little bit different, I suppose. They're sort of skeleton emoticons, I suppose, if you like, you know, skeleton emotes. Not too bad. Yeah, quite a fun t-shirt, I guess. Next up is DC Comics Villains Buildable Figurines. I think we've had one of these before quite a few months ago in one of the other boxes. I seem to remember these being quite poor in terms of plasticky quality and stuff. The Collect All 9, the Joker, Lex Luthor, Reverse Flash, Bizarro. There's all various different kinds you can get, but let's see what we get. If you could get any different kinds, then that's good. That's always a benefit, like I said earlier. So that's ours. You know, they're very plasticky. There's not an awful lot to them. Nothing special about those, really. It's a nice feature if you can get different ones, but ultimately, as a quality figurine, I'm not going to start collecting those. They just feel a bit too cheap for me. Whoa, okay, this is great. This is fantastic. Oh, I love this. We got a beanie cap hat thing, and obviously Pac-Man related. I wonder if we could have got different colours for these. I'll check that. Super Geek Box exclusive, so specifically made for Super Geek Box. That's probably the best item that we've had so far in all of these boxes. Certainly in terms of what speaks to me. That is a fun beanie. Retro ghost, obviously. You know, they're not allowed to say that it's a Pac-Man ghost, but it's clearly a Pac-Man ghost. Yeah, that's really good. I like it. And we've also got some socks. So 3 wearable items in this month's Super Geek Box. I mean, that's not too bad. Zombie socks, zombie decay socks. Super Geek Box exclusive again, so obviously the wearable items, it's easier to make those an exclusive because they just need a different design, I guess. So yeah, Super Geek Box exclusives for all the wearable items. And interesting that we have had 3 wearables. I think that's the highest amount of wearables we've ever had in a single box before. But at least they're all different rather than having the 2 t-shirts that we had last month. Next up is a patch. This is obviously Boo on there. I mean, that's not a bad patch. I mean, these patches, I never really do anything with them. I never put them on, but I know that some people do put them on things, and they are good for that sort of thing. But I'm never going to sort of sew this onto anything myself. But it's not too bad. That is the pin for this month. I did forget to mention the theme, which is darkness. Pretty standard, bog standard pin. And the final item is, it looks like we've got the same sort of style as the t-shirt with these skull emoticons. And these are stickers this time. You know, it's interesting because, again, it says it's a Super Geek Box exclusive. It's a lot easier to make exclusives for your own design, stuff like this. A lot of the stuff in here wasn't exclusive to Super Geek Box, which is nice, actually. And considering we got 3 wearable items, the extra stuff, you know, the figure and the patch and the stickers are just filler, but for what they are as filler, they're not too bad. We've certainly had worse before. It's actually a pretty good box this time from Super Geek Box. They're pretty good considering the size of the box that they send you. And as you can see here, actually 2 of the items have a bit of variety. You could have got obviously the 4 different colours of the ghost. I wish I'd gotten the orange one. That would have been perfect. The 4 different colours of the ghost for the beanie, and also obviously the figurine could have been one of 9 different types. So, you know, plus points there as well for a bit of variety. A lot of exclusives. Good stuff. More impressed with that one than the first 2. Next up, 1UP Box. We'll see what they've got this time for October. The theme for 1UP Box is horror, so the same as Loot Crate. We'll see how they differed in the kind of stuff that they do, given they have the same theme. First up, a 1UP Box exclusive. This looks very zombie-ish, Walking Dead-ish type stuff. It's basically a bracelet, and it seems decent quality, actually. They've obviously put a bit more effort into the packaging as well. Decent quality bracelet with interesting designs on there. That's not too bad. That's actually a decent little item considering it's an exclusive as well. Let's have a look at the t-shirt. There's the t-shirt for 1UP Box this month. Pretty cute, you know. It's a different play on the horror theme, I guess, with some various different gaming related horror ghost type characters and skeletons and things like that. You know, there are interesting designs on all these t-shirts. I think, like I always say, the t-shirts are pretty much the vast majority of the value of the box, I would say, and that's really what you're paying the most of the money that you pay for these boxes for, and the rest of the stuff are just extras that you can get. But yeah, usually the t-shirts in all of these boxes are very, very good. Next up, we've got a Dobbs figure, Nightmare Before Christmas vinyl collectible. They are cute. These Dobbs figures are pretty cute, I would say. The little faces on them. You know, that's a nice little figure. Vinyl collectible. You know, good quality. Obviously, these Dobbs figures have been in stuff before. Whether you could only get Jack Skellington, or whether you could have got any 4 of those, or something different in general, I don't know. We'll check. But yeah, a nice figure there. There's the pin for this month. Obviously a little bit of a different design to what they have been doing in the past, so that's always good, but it is just a bog standard pin. And then we've got 2 more items, because 1UP Box never ever stray away from 5 items in a box, even though they say you can get between, I think it's 5 to 7 or 5 to 8 items in on their website or whatever it is. It's always, every single month, if you go back on all these videos, 1UP Box always has 5 items. Doesn't matter what type of items they are, there's always 5. But this is quite cute. It's a Pac-Man Ghost bottle opener keyring. That's quite a nice little item. Like I say, sometimes these feel like filler items, the extra stuff that you get beyond the t-shirt and the figure. but that's pretty decent, and the bracelet was decent as well. And then finally, we've got a Boo sticker. It is just a sticker, nothing special. More like a decal. It is quite a strong sticker, but yeah, pretty cute. Okay, so that's why the sticker felt a bit weird. It's actually glow in the dark, so that gives it an extra point, I think. That's quite good. And the Dorbs figure, you could have got 2 different types of figure as well with it, so an extra point for a bit of variety as well. So yeah, not too bad. I think this month the 1-Up box and Super Geek box have closed the gap, certainly to the 2 big ones, if you like, which is Geek Fuel and Loot Crate. But obviously we'll see what we get in the scoring at the end of the video. So the final box is my Geek box. This was brand new to these reviews for last month, and we're going to continue with this a little bit. It replaced Z box. We'll see how they do. They didn't do too badly last month, considering they are a little bit cheaper as well. But we'll see what they do this month. Pretty plain box as always. Wow, they really did not need a box this big. Why have they put it in such a big box? Anyway, let's have a look at the t-shirt. That is the t-shirt. I can see where they're going with this, I think. I mean, it does just look like a skeleton hand, but is it meant to be a Vulcan hand that's doing the, that sign, live long and prosper and whatnot? If that's what they're going for, I quite like it. It's difficult to make out if that is, but I think it's reasonably clear that's what it is. Pretty simple design. Nice material t-shirt though. It's quite soft, so that's a plus point. Okay, so a big figure. I guess this is why the box was so big, but it didn't really need to be quite as big as what it is. But Justice League Throne of Atlantis figure. I wonder if you could have got different figures. Obviously, there are showing different figures on the back. Looks like a pretty nice figure. It's quite detailed. It's obviously fairly hefty packaging and whatnot. It seems like a quite high quality figure. Yeah, not too bad. That doesn't speak to me personally because I'm not too bothered about that sort of thing. But it looks like a nice quality figure. Okay. Wow. No way, I can't believe this. I cannot believe this. Alright, so this item are shoelaces. Marvel shoelaces, which on its own is bad enough. I mean, I don't know when these are from, but I've probably had these exact same shoelaces in a box before. Maybe if you look back through the videos for these, you might see that these crop up in an earlier box because we've been doing these for over a year now. So it probably is a good chance that it has. But shoelaces are bad enough, and they're a stupid item. I don't see why they bother putting them in the boxes. I'm not going to start replacing my shoelaces with some Marvel shoelaces. But amazingly on the back, I can't believe, how would they not realise anyone wouldn't notice this? On the back there, when this focuses, you might be able to see something. If you can read that. Loot Crate exclusive. I can't believe it. Really? Another subscription box has taken a Loot Crate exclusive item and put it in their box. Are these leftovers from Loot Crate? Did Loot Crate have loads of these left over and decide to sell them onto a different box? Surely you would never do that. If it's got Loot Crate marked on the back of it, why would you put it in your own? Wow, that could be... I think that's a 0. I think it was 2 weeks ago we had our first item that got a score of 10. I think this could be our first item that gets a score of 0. A legitimate 0. Wow, that is bad. Next up from my Geek Box is a comic book based around a movie, it seems, and a limited edition one. There's a code in the back of it to watch the full-length Pandorica film. I don't know of this movie, but it's a comic book that is a prequel to a film, and you get to watch the movie because of it, so that's not too bad. Never heard of it, though. I'm not sure exactly what kind of film that is, movie that is, but you know, not too bad of an item. And finally, wow, this is all that was in this box. This is the last item, and it's just a piece of card, essentially. It's a Sonic the Hedgehog 25th anniversary sort of doodle drawing thing on a piece of card. Yeah, nothing on the back. It's just a piece of card. Nothing special. Wow. They really did not need a box that was this big. I mean, the size of the box is huge. It's the biggest box that we had out of all of these subscription boxes this month. And the stuff that was in it did not fill that box. There was no reason for that at all. Wow. I mean, I know my Geek box is a little bit cheaper than the others, but that is particularly bad. That could be the worst box we've ever had. We'll see on the ratings and we'll see on the scores. But I don't think we've ever had a box get less than 30, and I always say 30 is the bare minimum for something to be worth your money for these boxes. And I still can't get over these Loot Crate exclusive shoelaces. Absolutely unbelievable. So that's it. I will do the scoring now, and we'll see how well all of the boxes do in comparison to each other. And obviously you can compare all the scores from previous months. If you haven't seen any of the previous videos in this series, the link is in the description for the previous episodes, where you can watch all, a year's worth of unboxings now and see the ratings for all the boxes, some of the best boxes, some of the worst boxes, things like that. And also, if you want any more information about these boxes themselves, the links are all in the description as well. But yeah, let's do the ratings and see how they all did. So, although nothing really in the Loot Crate box spoke out to me personally, it was still overall a very good box when you look at it objectively, and it got quite high scores for a lot of the items. They were high quality items, all exclusives as always. Having said that, I did knock a few points off because of the big advertisements. The box on the magazine, they usually get a few extra points if they are high quality. There's stuff in them to keep you entertained, especially when the boxes have something extra to them, which this one did. But I only gave them both a score of 1 this time because the advertisements were just totally ridiculous. And to be honest, you just don't want that when you're paying your money for these boxes. That's not the whole point. You shouldn't be littered with it. You shouldn't have to face advertisements for something because I'm sure stuff goes on in the background where companies want to get their products in these boxes anyway. It shouldn't be as obvious as what was shown with the Walking Dead stuff on the box for Loot Crate. Having said that, the score that it did get of 39 is still very high. Geek Fuel this month, a rare miss from Geek Fuel, not too many items, and to be honest, the small number of items, they weren't high quality enough to generate a good score. Only a score of 34, which is probably one of the lowest that Geek Fuel have ever had. Normally they're very, very high. I did like the t-shirt a lot, and there was 1 or 2 items that were relatively high quality, but ultimately it wasn't on the level that it normally is. Now, Super Geek Box gave us 3 apparel items, 3 wearable items with socks, a hat, and a t-shirt. They were all very, very good because obviously all of those were exclusives as well, so they do get that extra point for that. High quality, fun items as well. The extra stuff, like the little figure wasn't very great, to be honest, and the patch, it's just a little patch. But overall, not too bad from Super Geek Box. Some interesting items, some fun items, relatively high quality on most of the stuff, and I quite liked having something a bit different where we had 3 wearable items instead of a load of stuff that we may not necessarily use. So a score of 38 for Super Geek Box is very, very good, only 1 point behind what Loot Crate managed. So One Up Box actually did quite well this month as well. Like I say, they never seem to go away from that 5 items per box, including the badge would make 6, but they never stray from that, and I never think that the items that they have are good enough to generate a high score when they're putting in such a low number of items. If they had a few extra small items, it would get a better score. If they had higher quality items, obviously it would. But still, having said that, a score of 35 is reasonably good and is certainly worth your money. Like I say, anything over 30 is worth your money, and coming on to that point, my Geek Box certainly is not worth your money, certainly not this month anyway. The score that it gets is less than 30, and it's the first box we've ever had that gets a score of less than 30. It's the first box where I've ever said that would not have been worth your money, and the shoelaces in particular were absolutely ridiculous coming from a previous Loot Crate box. They get the first score of 0 that we've ever given an item. Absolutely ridiculous, and my Geek box was really pretty bad there. But those are the scores. Obviously Loot Crate was the winner, but they were all pretty close, the top 4 anyway, and you know, I would have been happy with any of them really. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts about these boxes down below, especially the Loot Crate exclusive shoelaces in the My Geek box. Can you believe that one? I still can't get over it. Wow. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Which box would you have rather had? Like I say, all the information about them is in the description. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.